राम राम भाई लोग, क्या हालचाल सबके? Hope everyone's doing well. I apologize if my sound quality is bad today because I'm shifting to a new studio. I'm in the new studio space right now, but it has not been fully completed. As you can see, some light is still coming through the windows there. It's not been fully, light proofed, or it has not been fully soundproofed. So it's going to be maybe a week before this is all done and completed. So I apologize for the sound quality and the light filtering in, but we'll crack on nevertheless. I Abhijit will also be here. He's, as you can understand, will be sir bathroom mein hai thoda, to thoda sa karke aayenge. But in the meantime, we'll get started. He'll be in time for the spicy stuff. So he'll join us for the spicy stuff. But for the medium spicy stuff, we can get started, which is obviously बहुत बुरा हुआ bro. And
नहीं,
the
बहुत
latest
मजा
update
आता
from the World Cup is,
है।
एटमी ताकत निकल चुके हैं World Cup से.
नहीं मतलब तेरे को मालूम है इस समय स्पोर्ट्स में क्या ट्रेंडिंग है?
Trending है.
कुदरत का निजाम।
So explain that reference to people that might not know.
नहीं
ये
बेसिकली
कहाँ से आई ये phrase?
पाकिस्तानी जो प्लेयर्स है ना वो हमेशा कुदरत का निजाम बोलते रहते हैं। बस यही देखो हो रहा है, कुदरत का निजाम है, हमारे को सेमीफाइनल में आना है। वो पिटते रहते हैं और कुदरत का निजाम बोलते रहते हैं। तो आज भी मतलब आज जैसे वो बारिश के बारे में किसी ने, वो मोहम्मद यूसुफ योहाना फॉर्मरली
Formerly used to be on.
है ना, बीच में उसके वक्त बदल गए, जज्बात बदल गए और वो मोहम्मद यूसुफ हो गया। तो उसने फिर से कुदरत का निजाम की बकलौली कर ली थी।
क्या बोल रहा था?
कि बारिश हो सकती है, कुदरत का निजाम हो सकता है, न्यूजीलैंड हार सकती है, पाकिस्तान सेमीफाइनल में आ सकती है, इत्यादि
हाँ.
इत्यादि। तो वहां तो कुदरत का लड़ा लहसुन हो गया उसका, बेसिकली कुदरत के निजाम का, क्योंकि न्यूजीलैंड ने श्रीलंका को हरा दिया। और
हाँ.
अभी लॉन्ग स्टोरी शॉर्ट, पाकिस्तान हैज टू बीट इंग्लैंड ईदर बाय 280 रन्स, 280 रन्स, ज्यादा नहीं, और they have to finish off whatever England scores in 16 balls.
Wow.
So
In
yeah, they
16
really
balls.
16 balls. So let's say if England ends up batting, Pakistan bats, ये मतलब England bats first and scores 400 runs. Pakistan has to score all those runs in 16 balls.
Oh my
Even
God.
if England scores 100 runs, they have to score 100 runs in 16 balls.
16 balls.
Yeah, so इस समय पाकिस्तान का जो हाल है ना, इस समय I think it can be, नहीं, बहुत मतलब बहुत ही बढ़िया अच्छा माहौल है, हर जगह खुशी का माहौल है पाकिस्तान में, मतलब बड़ा मजा आ रहा है।
बहुत दर्द हो रहा है। क्या आप देख रहे हो? आप पाकिस्तानियों की रिएक्शन वगैरह देख रहे हो क्या? Have you seen
नहीं, ये देखने वाला है।
है तो दिल कभी जलता है, थोड़ा दर्द हुआ पर चलता है, सपना टूटा है तो दिल कभी जलता है, थोड़ा दर्द हुआ पर चलता है।
ये एआई मस्त है यार, ये साले लोग बेसिकली बाबर आजम की आवाज में गंदा ले रहे बाबर आजम की। बाबर आजम की जो गंदे, अबे कहाँ चले गया शाम? अबे क्या हो गया? ये शाम ऐसे भी है तो फिर फ्रीज हो गया। ओए ओ यार, वो बोली जा रहा है, उसको लग रहा है कि उसकी आवाज आ रही है सबको, मगर उसको मालूम नहीं है कि उसकी आवाज किसी को नहीं आ रही है। आ रही है लोगों को आवाज शाम की। नो श्याम शर्मा, ओए होए होए, ये क्या हो रहा है? श्याम शर्मा की एक्सप्रेशन, ये तो स्क्रीनशॉट वाली थी। अब आया तू वापस।
अभी आया ना वापस।
हाँ,
साला पता
तो
नहीं
पूरा
क्या
टाइम
रखा
मालूम है
था।
तेरा एक्सप्रेशन क्या था?
हाँ।
बस और कुछ नहीं था।
हाँ, पाकिस्तान की हार की बात सुन के मैं खुशी खुशी में ही अटक गया बेसिकली।
हाँ, तो इमोशनल हो गया बहुत।
मेरे साथ कुदरत का निजाम हो गया थोड़ा सा।
ये बेसिकली कुदरती निजाम तेरे साथ हो रहा था,
कुदरत की निजाम मेरे साथ हो गया, पाकिस्तान
मतलब
के साथ होना चाहिए था। हाँ,
हाँ, पाकिस्तान के
बहुत
साथ
गलत।
होना चाहिए था, मगर हो तेरे साथ
हाँ,
गया। और मजे की बात है कि ये वर्ल्ड कप में पाकिस्तानी एक्स प्लेयर्स ने ऐसी ऐसी थियरी निकाली है कि बॉल चेंज कर देते हैं इंडिया जब बॉलिंग करती है, पिच चेंज कर देते हैं
हाँ,
जब
सुना है
इंडिया
मैंने।
बैटिंग करती है। मतलब ऐसे ऐसी फिर कुदरत का निजाम हो रहा है। और
किसी ने बोला नहीं था कि बॉल में चिप लगा रखी है, कुछ लगा रखी?
वो हसन रजा बकवास किए जा रहा है। मतलब अलग अलग लेवल की पेली जा रही है इस समय।
हाँ,
पाकिस्तान सिर्फ ओनली पाकिस्तान एंड पाकिस्तानी players can
हाँ।
peddle this kind of bullshit. They are the only ones capable of this level of rubbish
यार उसको
basically.
तो वसीम अकरम भी गरिया रहा था ना, हसन रजा को, उसके साले बेइज्जती
हाँ,
करानी है तो अकेले कराओ, मेरी क्यों करा रहा
और वो शो तो अच्छा है यार। वो शो जो
है?
वसीम अकरम और वो जो पवेलियन शो करते हैं वो लोग, वसीम अकरम,
हाँ।
मोइन खान, शोएब मलिक और मिसबा उल हक, दैट एक्चुअली इज अ
हम्म।
वेरी गुड शो। वो शो तो
मिसबाह उल
एक्चुअली
हक
में
साहब भी लगता है मौलवी बन गए आजकल।
ये लोग तो
हम।
सारे ही ऐसे हैं ना। ये लोगों की टीम में
हाँ।
हर आदमी की दाढ़ी बन जाती है बाद में। ये मतलब
रिटायर होते ही नेचुरली
हम्म,
बढ़ने लगती है दाढ़ी, आई थिंक।
हम्म,
या आई हैव सीन एक दो क्लिप्स मैंने देखे हैं उस शो के, उसपे तो मेरे को वसीम अकरम ही सबसे नॉर्मल लगता है। उसका
हाँ,
his analysis is also good, his commentary is also good, his
या
sort of understanding and his commentary on situations regarding non-Pakistan is also quite good. He seems like the most balanced out of the lot. I mean, at
and he
least all the
sticks to
Pakistani
cricket यार।
players.
he never does any kind of bakwas. He sticks to
Hmm.
cricket,
Hmm.
and he never ventures into things he should not be venturing into. But I mean it's so weird, like पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट बोर्ड में आई थिंक लास्ट
हाँ.
1.5 साल में 3 चेयरमैन या कुछ आ चुके। मेरे को समझ में ही नहीं आता उनका होता क्या है। It's such a
क्या बेच रही है?
dysfunctional country, and
हाँ.
everything is so dysfunctional about that
They have a
country. And
virus. The देश में एक वायरस है जो इनके हर एक साला it goes into every aspect of the country. That
yeah, it's
dysfunctional
very weird.
virus, it goes into the cricket also.
I mean, I don't know what it is that it's such a weird sort of a country. I mean, I
Hmm.
have not seen, मतलब एक कुछ तो semblance of systems होने चाहिए ना, मगर कुछ है ही
Yeah.
नहीं उधर। It is such a weird society. I mean, मगर अगर तू एक एक लार्जर पॉइंट को एनालाइज कर इस समय, तू
Hmm.
इंडियन क्रिकेट बोर्ड और इंडियन क्रिकेट को छोड़
Hmm.
दे, तू
Hmm.
बाकी जो एशियन क्रिकेट को अगर तू एनालाइज करे इस समय,
Hmm.
श्रीलंकन क्रिकेट कंप्लीट डिजरे में है। उनका भी बोर्ड
Hmm.
डिसॉल्व हो गया बाय द वे। देयर एंटायर बोर्ड हैज बीन डिसॉल्व्ड जस्ट
अच्छा,
आफ्टर दिस। यस, पाकिस्तान तो मतलब वो
after their
कभी
exit from the World Cup.
हाँ, मतलब जो आफ्टर
Oh.
द डिबैकल इन द वर्ल्ड कप, ठीक है।
Hmm.
पाकिस्तान तो हमेशा ही स्टेट ऑफ फ्लक्स में रहता है। और कोई ऐसा नहीं है कि श्रीलंका नहीं रहता है, श्रीलंका भी रहता है।
Hmm.
ठीक है,
Hmm.
बांग्लादेश क्रिकेट इन इज एब्सोल्यूट वर्स्ट फेस राइट नाउ।
अच्छा,
और वो
why?
शकीब और तमीम इकबाल का जो झगड़ा हुआ, उसने टीम का मोराल बहुत तोड़ा।
हाँ.
वो भी एक चालू है।
अच्छा.
अफगानिस्तान ऐसे टीम अच्छा कर रही है, मगर वो तो पूरा देश ही दिशदरे में है। तो तू अगर
वो तो
और नेपाल को मैं
that's
काउंट
next
नहीं कर
level
रहा।
disarray. हाँ.
नेपाल को मैं काउंट नहीं कर रहा।
But
तो
they're
तू
not in the
अगर
World Cup ना इस साल. Were
क्या
they in the World Cup?
नहीं, नेपाल नहीं था, वो क्वालीफाई नहीं
हाँ.
कर पाए। तो
अच्छा, अच्छा.
अगर तू शांति से अगर इस पूरे सिनेरियो को एनालाइज करे, तो एशियन क्रिकेट में तू इंडिया को निकाल दे, तो
Hmm.
स्टेबिलिटी कहाँ है? इंग्लिश क्रिकेट
Hmm.
बोर्ड
Hmm.
स्टेबल है। जो भी होता है वो लोग 2 साल अपना पीरियड चेंज करते हैं, करते हैं। ऑस्ट्रेलियन क्रिकेट बोर्ड स्टेबल रहता है। साउथ अफ्रीकन क्रिकेट बोर्ड भी हिले-डुले ही है, मतलब
हाँ.
मतलब मगर इनसे बेटर है, इन इन एशियन कंट्रीज से बेटर है।
हाँ.
तो तू
हाँ.
अगर क्रिकेट देखा जाएगा ना, तो तू स्टेबल क्रिकेटिंग बोर्ड्स कितने हैं? इंडिया, इंग्लैंड,
Hmm. Hmm.
ऑस्ट्रेलिया, ये
Hmm.
3 हो गई तेरी स्टेबल क्रिकेटिंग बोर्ड्स हैं।
Hmm.
बाकी कोई भी देश का क्रिकेट बोर्ड भी स्टेबल नहीं है भाई।
अच्छा.
क्रिकेट बोर्ड्स भी स्टेबल नहीं है इनके।
Hmm.
इतना विचित्र तरीके से मैनेज्ड है, मगर
हाँ.
ठीक है, क्या करें? नेपाल टी20 में फिर भी थोड़ा बहुत खेल लेता है, मगर अ, तो गेम गेम इस समय लिटरली 3 टीम्स है ना, वो चला
Hmm.
रही हैं।
अच्छा.
3 3 टीम्स चला रही हैं गेम को, और कुछ नहीं है। इन
हाँ.
टर्म्स ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन।
अच्छा.
क्योंकि बाकी जो बोर्ड्स हैं, न्यूजीलैंड बोर्ड भी स्टेबल है। आई विल गिव क्रेडिट वेयर इट्स ड्यू।
हाँ.
न्यूजीलैंड भी है। न्यूजीलैंड भी एक स्टेबल क्रिकेटिंग बोर्ड है, जहाँ पे मतलब बेस लाइन एक तय होती है, और 50 लाख का देश है मगर फिर भी वो मैनेज करते हैं, और ये
And they have
धीरे
good
धीरे
players apparently, na?
No, they produce so many good players, यार. It's unbelievable. हाँ, इतने से देश में इतने सारे प्लेयर निकालते हैं वो लोग consistently, and they do very well in ICC tournaments. They have always performed well in ICC tournaments. South Africa का बोर्ड पता नहीं अभी मैं उसको स्टेबल बोलूं कि अनस्टेबल बोलूं. If there is a
If there is a board
midway
at all.
between, you know,
Uh,
if there is a midway between, West Indies का भी complete disarray है, complete
यार
disarray.
इनको तो वो बोर्ड ही साला डिसॉल्व कर देना चाहिए. And they should just join the US.
कुछ नहीं.
इनको
तो
बोलना
इसके
चाहिए
लिए तो मैं
अमेरिका वालों को कि यार एक नया बोर्ड बनाओ और हमको ले लो. बस that's what they should do.
तो मतलब तू सोच, मतलब अगर तू 4-4.5 स्टेबल बोर्ड्स को हटा दे, बाकी पूरी गेम की स्पोर्टिंग बॉडीज जो हैं वो अंगे पोंगे हैं. ये सोच, ये क्रिकेट है. अभी मुझे नहीं मालूम कि बाकी स्पोर्ट्स में क्या हाल है या इनमें कैसे स्पोर्टिंग बॉडीज कैसे चलती हैं, सो आई कांट कमेंट. मगर क्रिकेट की तू नॉट इवन हाफ ऑफ द परसेंट, हाफ भी नहीं है जो स्टेबल है.
So ये बताओ who is in the इसमें कौन है अब? Who is in the World Cup semi-final now? अभी वो बर्थ डिसाइड हो गई है कि नहीं हुई है?
अभी 3 पोजीशंस हुई है, इंडिया, साउथ अफ्रीका और ऑस्ट्रेलिया. अभी तक मोस्ट लाइकली न्यूजीलैंड होगा आज के मैच के बाद, मगर अभी भी
अच्छा.
वो जो जब तक कल का अफगानिस्तान वर्सेस साउथ अफ्रीका वाला मैच, और फिर ये अपना पाकिस्तान वर्सेस इंग्लैंड वाला मैच जब तक खत्म नहीं होता तब तक वी कैन नॉट फाइनली से. तो वो ये वीकेंड तक क्लियर होएगा, मगर मोस्ट लाइकली इंडिया न्यूजीलैंड को खेलेगा वानखेड़े में, और दूसरा सेमीफाइनल होगा ऑस्ट्रेलिया और साउथ अफ्रीका.
इंडिया वर्सेस न्यूजीलैंड एंड ऑस्ट्रेलिया वर्सेस साउथ अफ्रीका मोस्ट लाइकली.
यस, मोस्ट
अच्छा,
लाइकली.
इंग्लैंड का चांस नहीं है?
अबे इंग्लैंड का क्या घंटा चांस होगा, नंबर 8 पे, उनका तो क्वालिफाई करने के वादे
नंबर
इस
8
समय.
पे, शाबाश.
इंग्लैंड ने तो ऐसा मेरे मुंह पे गोबर पोता सालों ने. उनको मैंने बोला था जीतेंगे वर्ल्ड
बेस्ट
कप
वाइट
कितने
बॉल
कमी
टीम.
कम. हाँ, साला हरामखोरों ने ऐसा गोबर मेरे मुंह पे पोता है कुत्तों ने.
चलो बढ़िया. तो when is the World Cup the semi-finals going to be? कब है?
नेक्स्ट वीक.
अच्छा, नेक्स्ट वीक है. शाबाश. अर्ली नेक्स्ट वीक कब है? लाइक मंडे,
मिड
ट्यूसडे?
नेक्स्ट वीक है शायद, मिड नेक्स्ट वीक है.
ओके, चलो बढ़िया. वेरी नाइस. ऑल द बेस्ट टू इंडिया. लगे रहो.
अरे यार वही अभी मतलब ऐसा है ना कि हर गेम जीत रहे हैं, सबको पेल रहे हैं. अभी हरामखोर साले कहीं हार ना जाए.
कर गए. हाँ,
वही
कहीं अर्ली
वो
पीक नहीं
बड़ा
कर गए.
डर लग रहा है, क्योंकि फर्स्ट हमारा मैच सेमीफाइनल होने वाला है 15 नवंबर वेडनेसडे को, और सेकंड सेमीफाइनल होने वाला है 16 नवंबर थर्सडे को. और फिर ऑब्वियसली वीकेंड पे फाइनल होगा 19 को, संडे को फाइनल है. तो बस अभी वही है कि ये गांडू साले कहीं सेमीफाइनल में टट्टी ना कर दे और न्यूजीलैंड को माताजी ना चढ़ जाए संडे को. तो मतलब सेमीफाइनल को वेडनेसडे को बड़ा वो बड़ा टेंशन है. फाइनल में आ गए तो कोई
बहुत सारी
टेंशन
टीम्स
नहीं
में
है.
होता है. बहुत सारी टीम्स में होता है कि यू नो दे पीक वेरी अर्ली, के ग्रुप स्टेजेस में दे परफॉर्म रियली रियली वेल, एंड देन क्वार्टर फाइनल्स या सेमीफाइनल स्टेज में जाके उनका दे रन आउट ऑफ स्टीम. It often happens in the football World Cup. So yeah,
Fingers
hopefully that
crossed.
doesn't happen.
That's all I'm saying. बस जो भी हो, fingers crossed. Because
But anyway,
बड़ा गंदी सड़ेगी, क्योंकि इतना अच्छा खेल रही है टीम, मजा आ रहा है.
बोल रहे पनौती मत लगाओ, चुप हो जाओ. So I want to ask you about this particular phenomenon as well. I know you don't have too many opinions on the Israel Hamas issue, but I do think that you may have an opinion on a particular phenomenon related to the Israel-Palestine issue, or the Israel-Hamas issue rather, which I think has a lot of parallels in India, and we've seen that for a while. Indians have seen that for a while. I think the West is noticing that on such a large scale for the first time, and they can't believe their eyes. उनको समझ में नहीं आ रहा कि ये हो क्या गया है, which is the complete unconditional support that Hamas has received from liberal sections within elite universities, elite media, and just in general public life as well. The politicians, obviously. It's been very staggering to see for a lot of Westerners. It's been mildly amusing, I must say, to watch their reactions to this whole thing. Like, it's kind of been funny how shocked Douglas Murray has been. Ki, "Arey, how is this happening? Ye kya ho raha hai? Ye kya ho raha hai?" And all that. Um, as Indians, I suppose we feel a lot less shock when we see reactions like this. But
Hmm.
what do you think, in your opinion, if you had to make, maybe what is the biggest factor which makes, seemingly normal liberals, very open-minded liberals, support a completely anti-woman, anti-freedom, anti-liberal organization, anti-LGBTQ for that matter, organization like Hamas?
It's got to do with the ideology at its core, the ideology of intersectionality and the ideology of victimhood. That leads to these absurd sort of bedfellows and combinations that you get to see nowadays in the Western world, especially coming out of the academia, because all these theories are peddled by the academics, right? They are the ones who
Yes,
peddle these
start
theories.
wahi
They
se
are
hota
the
hai.
they peddle it. So naturally, in the university ecosystem, you will have these kind of people.
Hmm.
Now the problem is that, see, the ideologues are always way more vocal because they are more driven than the average person
Hmm.
who may not agree with them. So even though, for example, let us look at Rashida Tlaib, right? Rashida Tlaib got censured. Now
Yeah.
most people don't know that in the entire 200 plus year history of the American Senate, right,
Hmm. Hmm.
only this feature has been used only 24 times. That means on average once a decade.
Hmm.
And Rashida Tlaib has
The
the
distinction.
as one of the distinctions of being one of them who has been censured in 200 plus years, almost 250 years of American political history.
Right.
And Rashida Tlaib is there. So that she got censured while she was saying whatever she is saying, absolute
Hmm.
nonsense, also shows that still the society at large and even the politics reflects that they are
Hmm.
they are balanced. But what has come over here is very clear. In their eyes, the world is very simple into two camps. There is one oppressor and there is one oppressed. And in their case, they feel Israel is the oppressor in this case, and the Palestinians are innocent victims.
Hmm.
So it doesn't matter whatever happens, Israel is bad. And also then you have different qualifying criteria, like how much money does the Jewish community have compared to
Right.
the Muslims. So the Jews clearly have more money. They are a very successful minority in the United States of America. So that is point number one. So that cancels the Jewish community in a very major way, that they cannot come into this entire calculation because they have more money. Then after that, a lot of bad history has been peddled when it comes to this entire Israel Palestine conflict. I mean, I don't want to get into the historical details. I did a very thorough podcast on the history of what is anti-Semitism with
Hmm.
Daniel Boardman. Then I did a history of the entire conflict with Daniel and Abhijit. That was one podcast I did.
Hmm.
And then I did another podcast with Catherine. So, I have done 3 podcasts. I would urge all of you to go on my podcast channel and listen to them one by one to try and understand how much rubbish has been peddled. And when you peddle so much rubbish, like for example, I saw this video. I don't know if you saw Dr. Gad Sad also spoke about it. It's happened in
Hmm.
his university, where open slurs are being used against Jews by
Yeah.
university students inside Concordia University. That is a university where Dr. Gatsad is teaching.
Hmm.
Now why things have come to this point of time or this position is very hard for me to decipher personally, that how much vile rubbish is going on. As of now, from what I understand, 3 people have been killed, one in France and I think one in America for sure. I can't confirm the third one, but 2 I know for sure. One in America, one in France has been killed by people who are open supporters of Hamas inside
Hmm.
the Western world. And there are almost every weekend there is a protest, but there are counter protests also happening,
Also.
which are, yeah. So it's not like there is only one kind of protest. There are counter protests happening in the West, but
But the protests are, I was seeing videos of the protests, and the pro Hamas, pro Palestine protests, whatever they are, they are quite large. And that's the size of the protest and the severity of the protest is what I think has shocked a lot of people in the West.
they are loud, right? See, you have to face one thing. the Islamist support base is very vocal and very loud. But that doesn't mean the Israel protests were not large. They were, the Toronto one in Toronto had like 30,000, 40,000 people. The pro-Israel protest in Toronto.
Acha.
It is that's a lot of people, Sham.
Hmm.
It's a hell of a lot of people.
Hmm.
But what happens is that these people are letting the Hamas protesters get away with a lot of rubbish. For example, Aromas, तेरे को मालूम है espresso bar जो cafe है all over North America है Aromas.
Okay.
तो
I
ये
don't know. I
बेसिकली
haven't seen in the
पेरेंट
US
कंपनी एक
yet.
इजरायली कंपनी है, पेरेंट कंपनी एक इजरायली कंपनी है,
Oh.
मगर जो ओनरशिप इन अमेरिका एंड कनाडा है ये इंडिपेंडेंट है. इट हैज नथिंग टू डू विद इजराइल. बट यस, अ फ्यू जूइश पीपल डू ओन द अरोमा एस्प्रेसो बार्स लाइक अ फ्रेंचाइज आउटलेट अक्रॉस नॉर्थ अमेरिका.
North America. हाँ.
ये लोग उसको जाके अटैक कर रहे हैं यार. मतलब कोई हद होती है.
Hmm.
और अगर तुमको इतना अटैक करना है तो फिर अपना फेसबुक अकाउंट भी कैंसिल करो ना. फेसबुक का भी तो मालिक जो है जकरबर्ग, वो भी तो यहूदी है. अगर तुमको इतनी प्रॉब्लम है, अपना इंस्टाग्राम डिलीट करो, अपना फेसबुक
Yeah.
डिलीट करो. जाके अरे चाय कॉफी बेचने वाले को तुम हैकल कर रहे हो.
Hmm.
क्या बकवास चालू है यार. मतलब कोई शर्म आनी चाहिए लोगों को. और ये लोग कुछ भी कर रहे हैं. और अगर ऐसे ही चलता रहा तो भाई फार राइट रिस्पॉन्स आने वाला है इन देशों में. तुम ये मेरे से
आएगा
लिख
ही
के ले
आएगा.
लो.
आएगा ही
100%
आएगा. And the
आएगा.
thing is, America में तो the far right or even the right is
बेस्ट ऑफ लक.
very heavily armed.
बेस्ट
They're
ऑफ लक.
armed to the bloody gills.
यस, मतलब मैं
Good
वही
luck.
कह रहा हूँ, इन लोगों को, इनको आइडिया नहीं है ये किसके फड़े में टांग डाल रहे हैं. कि जब फार राइट वेस्टर्न वर्ल्ड में जागता है ना, तो मतलब बड़ों बड़ों की गांड फट के फ्लावर हो जाती है. क्योंकि
Exactly.
ये लोग कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे फिर.
They
अगर
don't fuck
पब्लिक की
around.
सटक गई, ये लोग सीधा अपनी बंदूकें निकालेंगे, खास तौर पे अमेरिका में. और ये ऐसी गांड में डालेंगे इनकी गोली, मतलब ये लोगों की फट जाने वाली है. और कनाडा में जो ये कर रहे हैं अभी, मतलब ऑनेस्टली पियर पोलिवियो तो बोल रहा होगा थैंक्स कि भाई
बड़ा अच्छा किया भाई लोग.
हाँ, बड़ा अच्छा किया तुम लोगों ने मेरे लिए, तो एक और
What a
पॉइंट ऐड
great
कर दिया
year it's
तुम
been
लोगों ने.
for Polivier. पहले ट्रूडो हगता है, उसके बाद ये प्रो हमास वाले हग रहे हैं.
तो वही तो मतलब तो. और लंदन में अभी देख, इंटरेस्टिंग बात देख, जब से टॉमी रॉबिन्सन ने अनाउंस किया कि ये वीकेंड हम प्रोटेस्ट करेंगे, बेंचो दो लोग सोच रहे हैं कि ये प्रोटेस्ट अलाउ करे कि नहीं करे. उनकी गांड पड़ गई, क्योंकि उनको मालूम है टॉमी रॉबिन्सन अगर बोलेगा मैं प्रोटेस्ट पे आ रहा हूँ, तो भर भर के गोरे आने वाले हैं. फिर भर भर के गोरे आएंगे. तो इनकी फटी हुई है कि ये भैंचो तो भी करे क्या, क्योंकि वो वापस आ गया ना ट्विटर पे टॉमी रॉबिन्सन. उसको अलाउ कर दिया वापस इलॉन मस्क ने. लास्ट हफ्ते ही अलाउ किया है उसको, या कुछ ऐसा हुआ है. तो अभी इनकी ऐसी फटी हुई है ना ओवरऑल, कि इनको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कि हम करें तो क्या करें. क्योंकि
But it's been, what's been very interesting, I think personally, is हम लोग गालियां देते हैं ना इंडिया के पॉलिटिशियंस को कि किस तरह से उन्होंने they've almost sort of allowed a hostile takeover of universities by far leftist or pro-Islamist professors and academia. But to be fair, that's kind of what's happened in the West also, right under their noses.
हर जगह है. तो
Right?
देख, ऐसा है कि आपकी एकेडमी में कभी भी राइट विंग होता है, उसका कारण नहीं होता है. उसका कारण राइट विंग इन्वेस्ट नहीं करता ह्यूमैनिटीज और सोशल साइंसेस में. तो यू कैन नॉट हैव इट बोथ वेज, वेयर यू डोंट इन्वेस्ट एंड देन यू से अरे ये लोग ने क्या कर दिया, अरे वो लोग तो करेंगे ही ना. और तुम ये सोचो ना कि अगर कोई लेस्बियन होता है, वो क्या करेगा उधर जाके फलस्तीन में, उसको जिंदा भी नहीं रखेंगे वो लोग. ये मतलब ये किस किस्म की
Palestine is my favorite trend. Yeah, I want to support them.
कौन सी एंगल से ये कौन चूतिया जमात है जो ये ऐसे वियर्ड किस्म के आइडियाज लेके आते हैं ये लोग. हु आर दी स्टूपिड पीपल? आई रियली वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस माइंडसेट ऑफ द गे कम्युनिटी और अ सेक्शन ऑफ द गे कम्युनिटी. मतलब व्हाट द हेल.
Well, I think because if we've talked about this before, that if you look at it, intersectionality, जो भी postmodernism है, critical race theory है, all of these things become a religion unto themselves. So they're like an Abrahamic religion unto themselves. And the best example of that I've seen is a lot of people are saying, ठीक है, apartheid चल रहा है, and free Palestine, and all of that stuff, and ceasefire now, and all of that stuff. Fine. I'm willing to hear you out. But what I have not heard from you so far is saying कि Hamas is a terrorist organization which must surrender and must release the Israeli hostages. Then let's have a ceasefire. Let's work for a free Palestine. Let's work for a two-state solution. I'm with you. Then I'm with you. But उसके पहले भी तो कोई प्रीकंडीशन है ना. Imagine if I'll ask this question to Americans or to Britons or to Indians. Imagine that a terrorist organization came, kidnapped, like, killed like 20-30,000 of your people, kidnapped another 3-4,000 of your people, and are saying that we're going to wipe your country out from the map, from the face of this planet. And at the very least, you should expect ki theek hai, we need to get our people back, we need to eliminate this terrorist organization, and then maybe we can negotiate for peace, right? Any country in their right minds would do that. But I'm not hearing that from any of these,
Negotiate with
protesters,
whom,
Free
Sham?
Palestine people.
My question is negotiate with whom? Hamas? I mean, किसके साथ negotiate करे?
I mean,
उधर
that's also a
negotiate
good
करने
point.
कौन है
But
वो?
the point that I was making is, and you're right, you're 100% right. But the point that I was making is, okay, even at the very least, let's start from saying ki the civilians that have been kidnapped by Hamas have nothing. They're civilians, just like the Gazan children that are dying in the airstrikes, they're civilians. And the Gazan children that are losing their lives is fucking horrible. Similarly, the Israeli civilians that lost their lives and the Israeli civilians that are currently kidnapped by Hamas, that's also fucking equally as horrible. That's really, really horrible. But the problem is, because this postmodernism, whatever you want to call it, has turned into a religious ideology, especially an Abrahamic religious ideology. It's turned into basically a woke version of Christianity, or is political Islam right now. So in that sense, you've been able to, that ideology allows you to completely dehumanize people that you do not agree with. And so you can very openly come out and say, ki yaar, well, Israelis are settlers, Israelis are colonizers, so killing even civilians is okay. And I've heard that argument made from professors and these university students, that, hey man, they're oppressors, they're white oppressors, so white oppressors, you can kill them. It doesn't matter if they're civilians or not. And we've seen very similar arguments used in Kashmir as well, even though the situation is different. But the argument that has been used is quite similar. और वहां तो गोरे भी नहीं है कोई.
Yeah, it is a very how do I say this? I mean, it makes no sense. If you try to rationalize these people and their positions, you can never rationalize them, because it is actually kind of insane what they say, how they say it, what they try to explain. If you ask them questions, they're like, no, it is like, did you see Roger Walters' interview? Actually
Oh my
denying.
God, that guy, man.
अभी
What
मैं
has
उसके
happened to
गाने
that
सुनने
fucking
तो
guy?
बंद नहीं कर सकता.
क्या हो गया उस आदमी को यार? How
नहीं,
the
मगर
fuck
मैं
does
उसके
somebody
गाने
make
सुनना
such
बंद नहीं
good
कर
music
सकता.
and then talk so much out of his ass? I
नहीं,
don't
मगर
know.
यार क्या बात कर रहा था वो आदमी. मैं
Yeah.
और प्रॉब्लम क्या होती है मालूम है, कि इट आफ्टर अ व्हाइल इट बिकम्स सो हार्ड टू सेपरेट वन फ्रॉम द अदर. लाइक मैं उसके गाने सुनने तो बंद नहीं कर सकता, क्योंकि गाने तो
Yeah.
हैं अच्छे साले कुत्ते कमीने के, मगर
Yeah. It's
नहीं, मैं
quite
करूं
incredible.
क्या.
Yeah.
मगर ठीक है, फिर माइकल जैक्सन ने हम सबको ट्रेन कर दिया है,
Yes, exactly. We
तो अभी
can't
क्या
stop
करें.
listening to Michael Jackson, can you? Exactly.
या आई मीन
Yeah.
अभी था वो गांडू पीडो अलेजेडली, तो अभी क्या करे भैंचोद, मगर उसके गाने बहुत अच्छे थे यार, तो गाना तो
Yeah.
सुनना पड़ेगा ना उसका.
Yeah. How can you
तो
stop
अभी करे
listening to
क्या.
Spiller?
तो
Yeah.
अभी वही होता है यार अभी, क्योंकि और बाद में ये हो रहा क्या है, लास्ट 15 साल में सोशल मीडिया, मतलब 15 साल के अंदर जो सोशल मीडिया इतना टेक ऑफ हो गई है ना. पहले हमको ये जो हमारे हीरोज होते थे, इनके ओपिनियन नहीं मालूम होते थे, तो हमारे
Yes.
लिए कितना कुशन कवर रख के आराम से
Yeah.
जिंदगी जीने
What a
को,
nice
सुकून की
existence.
जिंदगी जीते थे.
Yeah.
अभी मैं कितना खुश हूँ मालूम है, अमिताभ बच्चन और शोएब ये मतलब सचिन तेंदुलकर अपने ओपिनियंस नहीं देते अपनी लाइफ में झाटू के जैसे, कि कम से कम एक हमारे मन में नहीं जानता मुझे तेरे विचार, नहीं
Yeah.
बोल. इट्स लाइक
चुप रहा
दैट
कर.
नाउ.
Yeah.
चुप रहो यार, तुम लोगों को हम लोग के मन में.
That's what happened with a lot of the Pakistani cricketers, ना. इतने सारे जो Pakistani cricketers हैं, they used to have a pretty big fan base in India.
Yeah,
And
they did.
they squandered their own fan base by, क्या करें? अब religious hatred तो छुपाई नहीं जाती उनसे social media आते ही. So they squandered their own fan base. एक वसीम अकरम टाइप के लोग हैं, एक दो जो शायद जिनका थोड़ा रिस्पेक्ट बचा है, more or less. But that's about it. Yeah.
मगर मतलब इतना अजीब किस्म का है ना ये, कि यार हम लोग, आई थिंक ऑल ऑफ अस And it applies to you and I too, right? A lot of people might like us for what we do, and then they hear our views on things and they don't agree with those views. Like we are all going to be in a position where we get Sham, तूने अभिजीत को लिंक नहीं भेजा?
Oh shit. मैं भेज रहा हूँ. अबे मेरे को पता नहीं था वो अभी आ रहा है कि नहीं. I'm sending it to him right now. उसको you keep talking. I'm sending him the link.
हाँ ठीक है. So
हाँ.
why is Abhijit calling us? अबे कुत्ता
कॉल
साला
क्यों कर रहा है
कॉल क्यों कर रहा है?
लाला? अबे भेज
Sending
रहा
the
हूँ,
link.
रुक जा.
उसको बोल दिया मैंने.
हाँ, मैं भेज रहा हूँ भाई, रुक जा. There
हाँ,
you go.
चलो.
Sent.
Okay.
मैं बोल देता हूँ उसको.
नहीं मैंने लिख दिया है व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में. अभी आ जाएगा वो.
अच्छा.
हाँ. तो मैं क्या बोल रहा था? Fuck,
हाँ.
मैं भूल गया. I
About
completely lost the train of thought.
heroes and their opinions on
Yeah.
social media.
So in a way, this is also training us now how to compartmentalize with everything. Like we may like some things, some of what we do, and then we just have to our listeners also have to compartmentalize for us when they listen to us, and then ignore some of the things we say, and we also do it all the time because there is such an army of opinion. Rashida ka baap.
रशीदा के पिताजी आ गए. Rashida ke pitaji has joined the chat. Hello.
Salam alaikum. Alaikum assalam to all.
Alaikum assalam to all. And what do you think about Israel, Rashida ke pitaji?
See, Israel fascist state.
Huh.
Israel is Modi ka parchaya on earth.
That's true.
They use the term zille ilahi, it's the shadow of God on earth for jahan pana. Israel is zille Modi, or Modi is zille Israeli.
Yes.
यार इस समय जिले नहीं, ये लोग सिर्फ जलील ही हो रहे हैं और कुछ नहीं हो रहे. जलील ही हो रहे हैं लोग.
You are Zionist supporter. Shut up.
Zionist तो मैं तो हूँ. मैं तो छुपाता भी नहीं हूँ.
Who wants to listen to my incredible cricket commentary? Because I think everybody.
Nobody, asshole. We need to talk about Mahua Moitra.
Yeah, we need to finish talking about Israel so we can talk about Mahua Moitra.
You're all scared of my cricket commentary because my.
Of course we are. Yeah. Are you trying to shut down? Are you trying to shut down the podcast that Kushal and Adit do together?
मेरा क्रिकेट कमेंट्री और तू साला बिहारी और तू साला कलवा, मेरा क्रिकेट कमेंट्री दोनों के क्रिकेट कमेंट्री से कई गुना बेहतर है, समझ रहे हो?
अबे मैं तो क्रिकेट कमेंट्री करता भी नहीं भाई, मुझे क्यों लपेट लिया?
तुम दोनों को पता भी नहीं है शब्बे राती कौन है. तेरे को पता है शब्बे राती कौन है?
शब्बे राखी?
हाँ देखो देखो देखो, इसको पता नहीं है भाई और बहनों, शब्बे राती कौन है? और
ये राखी सावंत का भाई है क्या? शब्बे राखी?
ये देखो भाई.
शब्बे राखी. Is that a real person?
अरे अच्छा नहीं, मगर let us talk about this. So what has happened exactly, Abhijit, with Mahua Moitra? What is the 6-4 verdict now?
बहुत बुरा.
Why is he muted?
Mute क्यों रखा है?
हाँ अभी नहीं, अभी
I'm not muted. हाँ sorry. क्या बोला?
नहीं. So what is the 6-4 verdict to be precise?
क्या हुआ महुआ जी के साथ यार? बहुत बुरा हुआ यार bro.
The recommendation is to expel her because so there are several charges against her. One is bribe taking. Second is this thing. Sharing her password. The third is giving the login. That is a password. The ethics committee has found an ethic breach in sharing the password and login details, because if you go to the ethics committee ka jo, the first thing that is given to you in this thing, I'm going to find the document. Where do you want me to send it to you? Because
send it in Twitter DM. Yeah, wherever is easier for Kushal. Huh?
Okay, and I want you to see this because it's a very important thing. इसको Twitter DM पे भेज रहा हूँ. Sorry, the very first line in this says very clearly कि group पे भेज रहा हूँ, ठीक है?
Okay.
बहुत बुरा हुआ यार. अब बेचारा brute content कैसे बनाएगा?
Now go display that document. The very first line in it says no sharing of password login details.
Wait.
This is the document that all
email terms and conditions.
Yeah, I'm sharing it, Sham. I'm sharing it.
Used to. That's the very first thing.
It's the very first thing.
It's the point number one.
I mean, what the fuck? Didn't
That's
she
point
have
number
basic
one.
sense?
Keep.
This is so ridiculous.
Yeah,
Oh my god, that's point number one. That's so funny.
right.
Huh.
Not only did she share it, she also shared OTP details every single time. The reason she
Oh
got
my
upset
god.
was she was sharing them late at night, and she got asked what were these calls for verification that she was making those calls and things like that.
Huh.
And obviously she didn't want to confirm that
Huh.
now, and that's why she got upset and she said मेरे से सब लोगों ने अश्लील अश्लील questions पूछे
Eh?
all that blah blah thing. Now, why is this important? You
Huh.
see, several advance bills were shared on that portal where
Huh.
members of parliament get to see them so that they can prepare their comments and criticisms in advance. They
Hmm.
are not going to be given to anybody else. So let me give you the list that has been given in the report. The Muslim Women Marriage Protection Bill,
Hmm.
the Jammu and Kashmir Delimitation Bill of 2019, the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Amendment Bill 2020.
Hmm.
Imagine if any of these had gone to businessmen, how much financial profit or damage they could cause.
Yeah.
Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Amendment Bill 2021. The
Wow.
Taxation Laws Amendment Bill 2021, Energy Conservation Amendment Bill 2022, Electricity Amendment Bill 2022, Coastal Aquaculture Authority Amendment Bill 2023, Central Goods and Services Tax Amendment Bill. This has directly to do with Darshan Hiranandani's role as a businessman, of course, who is in
Right.
construction and things like that.
So can you
2020.
zoom into it, Kushal? Is there any way to do
नहीं
that?
हो रहा है यार, इसमें जूम नहीं
Hmm.
अलाउ करते, क्रोम में नहीं अलाउ करते,
Acha, acha, acha.
So let me
unfortunately.
hold up. Let me hold it up and show it
Hmm.
maybe here.
Hmm.
And they will probably be able to see it here.
Roko, let's bring you into this view. Yeah. Maybe she'll be able to see it now.
Can you see
Right.
it now?
Yep. 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 There it is.
Please change your password at least once every 3 months.
Look at point number one. Users are requested to keep the given user ID and password as secret. That's point number fucking one. Had hai yaar.
And I want you to see at
What
the
a
end of the
brilliant lady.
document,
Huh.
you have to sign. Can you see? Signature of the applicant is required
Oh wow. Huh.
on
Oh.
this.
And at the bottom, man, at the bottom it says again in bold, the email ID and password is not to be shared with anyone unless authorized.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Now, you know, she claims that she didn't know and there was no ethical violation. Now, I want you to show me the rule anywhere in the Indian Penal Code or the Constitution where it says you shall not kill, you shall not steal, and you shall not rape.
So if you're not aware that you're committing a crime, that means it's not a crime. Is that what she's saying?
Yeah. And that is the fundamental principle of the law,
That's
ignorantis
fucking
juris non
brilliant.
excusat.
Yeah.
Ignorantis juris non excusat is a very significant legal principle. It simply means that you can't claim ignorance of the law when you breach it.
Hmm.
Okay.
Right.
You should know that this is a portal where sensitive documents are shared and you're not meant to share it.
Hmm.
Okay. She
Right.
did. Now she's claiming,
That's
well,
funny.
every other MP does it. Tell us which MP did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Show us
Here,
proof. Yeah.
now, this wouldn't have even been investigated had it not been for the fact that Darshan Hiranandani himself in his application says, yes, I did. Then she
Yeah.
herself admits, yes, I did.
I also did.
Now, when the accusation is made,
Yeah.
initially investigation would have been, should we even investigate this?
Huh.
But when Darshan Hiranandani says, yes, she gave it to me,
सामने से आके बोल रहा है. Yeah.
oh, then this is now proof on record.
Hmm.
And then when she herself says, it becomes uncontested proof on
अरे यार
how
क्या
dumb
लेडी
can
है
you
ये.
be?
Yeah. क्या लेडी है ये. Yeah.
ये
What do you
best
think?
comment है.
What do you think happens next?
कुत्ते के चक्कर में क्या
एक
क्या हो
कुत्ते
गया?
के चक्कर में कितना झमेला हो गया यार देखो तो. हाँ.
मेरा ना kind of in a difficult spot. I don't know if
अबे
I want to turn on my fan or not because
कहाँ चला गया ये?
and
अच्छा
ये
दरवाजा
क्या हो रहा है? अच्छा.
दरवाजा बंद कर रहे हैं सर.
because it's too hot for क्या कहते हैं?
हाँ.
It's too cool for AC and it's too hot for anything other than fan. हाँ. मैं क्या बोल
Fair
रही थी?
enough. So what happens? What do you think happens next with her?
Boss, she's getting expelled. It's that simple, no?
Huh.
She's getting expelled. So now what happens is the report gets tabled in Parliament. It will get put up for discussion, which they will try to stall and disrupt, which will obviously be this thing. And by voice vote, her expulsion will pass.
Okay.
Again, what is more serious is that they have recommended several criminal inquiries, cash for questions. Remember in the past, the cash for questions, MPs, 6 MPs were disqualified. Their disqualification was upheld and everything like that. She will be expelled. The disqualification will be upheld. I doubt very much the TMC is going to give her a ticket. Okay. And that's that. It's the end of her political career. It's the end of her corporate career even. Maybe she can become a YouTuber or something.
So what's the difference between like expulsion and...
I suspect I don't know. There is a market for screeching. So
That's true. And YouTube's a good place for it. So
No, but what is interesting is that there is a Congress MP that has recommended in favor of her expulsion. That I have not understood the politics of.
India Alliance.
Or she's suspended for anti-party activities because of what her husband did, which is captain, no?
Oh.
Wait, whose husband?
Captain Amrinder Kaur's
Amrinder.
wife.
Oh, मैंने नाम नहीं देखा था एमपी का, तो फिर तो क्लियर है. हो गया काम.
And so, she was suspended for no act of defiance herself. She was suspended from Congress party membership for her husband's act of defiance.
Oh, बढ़िया, बहुत अच्छे. But what's the difference between expulsion and disqualification?
It amounts to the same thing. Apparently, as I understand it, you can't contest again.
Oh, she can't contest again if you get expelled.
Apparently, I haven't gotten the law cleared on that. I've asked a few lawyer friends.
Ask वो कुत्ते वाला lawyer. उसको पता होगा.
And let's see.
Interesting. So currently, the status is that she's been expelled, but it's going to get reviewed or something?
She technically stands suspended pending. She's technically not even suspended. Before the session of Parliament, which I think is on the 1st of December or something like that, I'm not sure, the winter session of Parliament, in the interim period, the Speaker will pass a notification suspending her.
Okay.
And then the expulsion has to be voted on by Parliament. It's a simple majority of the Lok Sabha.
Oh, no. Oh, that's not looking good, bro. It's not looking good. Oh, no. Well, that's so funny. It is so funny. I remember when she was being hailed as the second coming of, I don't know, Jesus or something. This is the woman who's going to single-handedly save democracy. There's this YouTube channel called Brute that their entire channel is just filled with Mahua Moitra abusing people and pointing out how brave she is.
So as I understand it, Brute was paid a lot of money to put up those videos.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
That's not surprising.
That's what I'm hearing. I don't know if it's true or not, but that is what I've been hearing. So of course, I have no reason to doubt the integrity and the high moral standards of Brute's editorial thing. And I want to condemn any such rumors that might come about.
Yeah. So either way, before the 1st of December, we will have some kind of a decision on Mahua Moitra's expulsion.
Should be. Let me just check when the winter session of Parliament is. Winter session of Parliament.
I can't believe what the
4th December.
4th December?
4th to the 2nd of December.
What has this woman done? I mean, what is she?
She's done everything. She's done everything possible.
she keeps digging herself into a hole. This started off with something where she could have just gotten away with a censure. She needed to have
Yeah.
opened her mouth, and she should have just called up Darshan and said, Darshan, beta, tu idhar mat aa. Investigation के साथ cooperate मत कर, and it would have died a natural death.
Right.
But then Darshan had to open his mouth.
Yeah.
Now, even then, see, Darshan then has to provide proof. She could have just gotten away saying, boss, I mean, I knew this guy. He's a very dear friend. My friends give me expensive gifts. They know what my tastes are. Darshan comes from a great deal of money. Sometimes I get very expensive gifts, which I would have no way. I mean, I could buy them, but it's not that much of an investment that I would ever want to spend that much money on something like that. And sometimes I get gifted things. And I'm not a member of parliament. So a member of parliament, and quite a very pretty, articulate member of parliament, who's leading the or at least is seen to be leading the anti-fascist coalition within parliament and the anti-genocide coalition within parliament, gets gifts. What is wrong? The problem is she herself has then gone and admitted, yeah, I did.
I did. लिया है. मेरे को बहुत अच्छा लगता है गिफ्ट लेना. Yeah.
तुम क्या मुझे मारोगे? मैं खुद को मारूंगी. That's pretty much what she's done. And
now can we do cricket commentary?
Yes,
No,
let's. I want to hear your cricket commentary before we do meme review. Batao, what do you have for us, Abhijit?
Oh my God.
Tell me what
Nothing.
you have for us.
Nothing.
This is your cricket commentary. Nothing.
But I want you all to follow me for cricket commentary because I'll give 100 times better cricket commentary than Kushal. So for tomorrow, day after, जो भी match होगा,
बेटा cricket commentary ना बोल के भी दी जाती है. You have to speak.
But अभी match
put on the spot.
Bastard! I know he needs someone to tell him what to say on Twitter. Then
This
the
is his
bastard
level of
will
cricket
get
commentary.
back.
Audience, guys, please, I need you to understand what a fraud this man is.
Cricket commentary, okay?
This person is a fraud.
साला काला बिहारी और काला मद्रासी पंजाबी टाइप मेरे को ये बोल रहे हैं.
This person is a fraud. He can't say anything about cricket live when put on the spot, but Twitter पे जाके he gets fed information like Mahua Moitra. He probably reaches out to Adit Kapadia on DM and says, Adit,
No, अरे वो राघव से पूछ रहा होगा.
देखो, there you go.
या निखिल या राघव.
Tell me what to say about
all my knowledge of cricket. Okay, it's that I know a lot about cricket.
If it's your knowledge of cricket, then say something now, right now on the spot.
But understand.
हो गया. Finish. Stay fini.
LBW equals leg before wicket.
High level. Look at this high level cricket commentary. Yeah. This is. Can we please get rid of Harsha Bhogle so we can install LBW means leg before wicket?
अरे लड़ो मैं और क्या बोलूंगा अभी मैच नहीं चल रहा है लड़ो.
ये बेस्ट है. अभिजीत अय्यर मित्रा watching cricket is कुदरत का निजाम.
कुदरत का निजाम. That's the real कुदरत का निजाम.
Yeah.
Abhijit giving commentary on cricket is the real कुदरत का निजाम. That's true.
Yes.
बस मेरे से चलते हो और कुछ नहीं है.
Okay, चलो अभी मीमी करते हैं. ये बेस्ट है. ये स्टार्ट है ना. इतने हरामी है इंडियन फैंस. पाकिस्तानी क्रिकेट प्लेयर की लाइव स्ट्रीम में जाके बात सुन रहे उनकी. ये देखिए.
Bhatt साहब.
PK MKB. Your views on PK Pakistan versus MKB क्या है भाई?
MKB क्या है भाई?
What is
उसको
MKB?
देख. आप इसको देख.
MKB पाकिस्तान का मैच है न्यूजीलैंड के खिलाफ.
MKB क्या है भाई? MKB कौन सी टीम है सर?
ये लोग भी
PK is पाकिस्तान. MKB कौन सी टीम है सर?
हम लोग क्यों पैदा हो गए? हमारे साथ इतना गलत हो रहा है.
मैच तो न्यूजीलैंड के साथ है. MKB कौन है?
कितने हरामी है इंडियन सपोर्टर्स. कितने हरामी है.
MKB यस ये सब किया करो यार भारत वाले. ये बहुत अच्छा काम करते हो आप लोग.
अमित गुजू ने क्या लिखा है? स्कूटर और बाइक में पेट्रोल भरवाने से सीधा अडानी को पैसा जाता है.
अरे अब तो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी के बाद दिस आल्सो.
जैसे ही आपने अपने स्कूटर में मोटरसाइकिल में पेट्रोल डाला ना, अदानी जी के जेब में सीधा पैसा जाता है।
अरे क्या बात है।
जैसे ही आपने अपने स्कूटर में मोटरसाइकिल में पेट्रोल डाला ना, अदानी जी के जेब में सीधा पैसा जाता है।
यार ये आदमी मतलब
This is-
ये हमारे देश की जनता को कितना चूतिया समझता है।
समझ रहे हो आप? देखो 2019 में ही गेव द स्लोगन आलू से सोना। 2024 का स्लोगन इज अडानी के जेब में पैसा जाता है। आप अगर बत्ती चलाते हो, अडानी के जेब में पैसा जाता है। आप अगर गाड़ी में पेट्रोल डालते हो, अडानी के जेब में पैसा जाता है।
ये बहुत अजीब सा आदमी है यार, क्या करेंगे
आपका अगर नन्ना मुन्ना बच्चा पैदा होता है, अडानी के जेब में पैसा आता है। सेक्स करना बंद करो।
ये बेस्ट है। ये देख, ये फोटो देख।
जितनी बार आप संभोग
एमिली,
करते हो, अडानी के जेब में
फेमिनिस्ट,
पैसा जाता है।
ऑल्ट, BLM, KM, ACAB, फ्री पैल्पटीन।
फ्री पैल्पटीन। अरे एमिली जी,
बेस्ट है। पैल्पटीन को आजाद करो।
पैल्पटीन को आजाद करो यार। Why are you jailing Sith Lords in why is Israel jailing Sith Lords? I don't understand. Please. What did the Sith Lords ever do to Israel? That's true.
तुम
That's a
बताओ।
very fair statement. Yeah, it's a very fair statement.
ओके, मोदी जी क्या कर रहे हैं इधर? इसमें लिखा हुआ है इट हिट हार्ड व्हेन मोदी जी सेड इट। ओके, क्या सेड व्हाट? अबे चल, अभी
लेकर
तो
भाई
क्या हो गया? प्ले हो तो रहा था।
हो तो रहा था, अभी तो नहीं हो रहा है।
क्या हो गया
दोबारा
इसको?
करो।
वापस तो
इसको रिफ्रेश करो, रिफ्रेश करो, रिफ्रेश
हाँ,
करो तो हो जाएगा। होपफुली।
बड़ा गांडू हो गया।
हाँ देखो अभी प्ले हो रहा है। It hit hard when Modi ji said it.
कैन डू जनरेशन, कैन डू जनरेशन।
Can't do generation.
ये गांडू जनरेशन है। आई एग्री विद मोदी जी, आई एग्री।
गेंडू
गांडू
जनरेशन है। गेंडू जनरेशन है। सोनीपत से
अरे
है
यार।
लगता है मोदी जी। गेंडू जनरेशन है। We are getting a lot of messages by Nishant, who really wants Abhijit to spank him. I don't know if Abhijit does this in his spare time, but Nishant is very interested. Nishant has already messaged us twice
Back-
already.
Okay, back-to-back wickets of Sri Lanka cricket destroyed. Babar Azam hopes to reach semi-final. Number one batsman Zimbabwe be like Kudrat ka nizam works for New Zealand. अच्छा, तूने क्या हुआ Zimbabwe?
See, cricket is a very serious game. We should not make fun of it.
वो नहीं, हमको ये बताओ कि जो सरकार
हमको
बाबू
सब
बाबू
लोग आकर के तंग
मेरा
किया
बाबू
गया।
मेरा बच्चा सुनो ना,
हमको पूरा मीडिया
देखो
तंग किया।
बताओ इस सवाल का
हमको
जवाब
पूरा
है,
मीडिया तंग किया
इस
है।
सवाल का साहब
हमको तंग किया गया।
फिर वो नहीं, हमको ये बताओ कि जो सरकार
हमको
बाबू
सब
बाबू
लोग आकर के तंग
मेरा
किया
बाबू
गया।
मेरा बच्चा सुनो ना,
हमको पूरा मीडिया
देखो
तंग किया।
बताओ इस सवाल का
हमको
जवाब
पूरा
है,
मीडिया तंग किया
इस
है।
सवाल का
This face swap thing is so great. Before it gets really fucked up is really great.
बहुत
उनको
तंग
बहुत
किया है।
तंग किया गया है। भारत में इनको बहुत तंग किया गया है। बहुत परेशान किया गया इनको। इनको भारत
अच्छा,
आना ही
ये
रोक देना
नेक्स्ट वाला
चाहिए।
लिखा हुआ है श्याम भाई जब स्कूल में थे ऐसे थे। भाई तू कैसा था स्कूल में, जरा
ये
देखे।
क्या बेंचोद?
श्याम भाई इन स्कूल। अच्छा, क्या है तू भाई?
हेलो गाइस, देखिए और ये आज ले लिए हैं अब दारू, और अभी जाके पूरा एंजॉय करेंगे। और स्कूल का जो है बंक मार दिए हम, तो पूरा एंजॉय करेंगे गाइस, मजा आ गया है एकदम। और ये देखिए एक चूतिया आ रहा है, इस लिफ्ट लेंगे और घर जाएंगे। और गाइस पापा है गाइस,
Guys, पापा guys.
ओ भाई चोद, पप्पा है गाइस, पप्पा
पीछे
है।
से चूती आ रहा है, इसी से लिफ्ट लेंगे।
देखो,
पापा है
मैंने
guys.
भी मीम बनाया, मैंने भी मीम बनाया, मैंने ट्विटर डीएम पे शेयर किया।
अरे तूने भी मीम बनाया, क्या बात है?
हाँ, कर
अब
रहे
तो
हैं
वो शेयर करना पड़ेगा।
ना। ये बहुत अच्छा है। इंडिया और श्रीलंका का जो मैच हुआ था ना, उसके ऊपर ये
हाँ।
परफेक्ट बैठता है। ये देख बहुत मस्त है, बहुत मजा आया मेरे को ये देख के। ये सबसे अच्छा था। पाकिस्तान इंडिया वर्सेस श्रीलंका का प्रीव्यू है ये।
अच्छा ये तो हाँ, दिस इज गुड, आई थिंक आई हैव सीन दिस।
तुमने इनको खेलने नहीं दिया। अरे तो मेरी क्या गलती है? बुमराह, सिराज, ये शामी सब फुल फॉर्म में चल रहे हैं, मैं क्या करूं? 358 का टारगेट दिया है। इतना कोई टारगेट देता है? 358 रन कैसे बनाते हैं? सोचना चाहिए था। 250 पौने 300 ठीक था, उसके बाद आउट कर देते। अरे सारा भाभी मैच देखने आई थी, शुभमन को कैसे रोकता मैं? पहली बॉल पे विकेट ले ली हमारी। पहली बॉल पे विकेट क्यों ले ली इनकी? आदत सी हो गई, हम क्या करें उसमें? इसका क्या करूं? कब तक बैठा रहेगा टेबल के टॉप पे? सारी टीमें शिकायत लेके आ रही हैं। पहले तेल लगा के डॉक्टर का नाम मिटा दिया बाबर का, ऑस्ट्रेलिया इस पत्ते से पेल दिया, और इन्होंने हमारी एक भी कैच नहीं छोड़ी। हमने तो विराट की छोड़ी थी ना, ऐसे करके विराट की छोड़ी। विराट की कैच छोड़ी थी इन्होंने, तुमने कैच क्यों नहीं छोड़ी है? उल्टा लटका दिया इनको। लप्पू सी टीम है, खेलना इन पे आवे ना है। और इतने रन क्यों बनवा दिए? अगली बार किसी की बीवी, किसी की गर्लफ्रेंड ग्राउंड में नजर नहीं आनी चाहिए, क्योंकि अपनी पसंदीदा औरत के सामने सब रन बनाते हैं। आगे से हल्का हाथ रखेंगे।
This was good.
लप्पू
This
सी
was
टीम है,
good.
थोड़ा खेलने देते इनको। ए, बहुत बढ़िया। आई थिंक दिस वाज आरजे लक्की अगेन, तो शाउट आउट टू आरजे लक्की फॉर द ओरिजिनल मीम। दिस इज वेरी गुड, वेल डन।
ओह ये बेस्ट है, ये वाला ये बहुत अच्छा है। जेम्स ऑफ
लप्पू
क्रिकेट
सी
के
टीम
डाला
है
था
यार।
ये पाकिस्तान में है ना, ये रियल लाइफ में कॉमेडी हो जाती है। भैंचोद क्या देश है पाकिस्तान में, नॉर्मल लोग ऐसे। ये देख ये
हाँ।
एक्चुअल में है, ये देखा।
में आपकी नजर में वर्ल्ड का सबसे बड़ा प्लेयर कौन सा है?
विराट कोहली।
आपकी नजर? बाबर आजम से बड़ा प्लेयर ही नहीं है कोई।
क्या कर दिया?
बाबर आजम से तो मेरा बड़ा है।
बाबर आजम से तो मेरा बड़ा है।
पाकिस्तान
अपने ही देश के लोग ले रहे इतनी लगा के।
But you have to appreciate their sense of humor.
Yeah, they are funny.
I feel all in a country like that, I feel like, gallows humor does develop quite well. I feel in countries like those, they do get very good at gallows humor.
Okay, ये वाला मैंने नहीं देखा। Plan B. Okay, what the fuck is this? Plan B. देखें।
क्या जादरान ने बैटिंग करी है यार, क्या गुरबाज ने बैटिंग करी है, उसके बाद हशमत आया, उसने नहीं छोड़ा, उसके बाद यार शाहिदी आया। मतलब कहीं पे भी दिक्कत ही नहीं हुई यार, आराम से चेस कर गए। इट वॉज अनबिलीवेबल। रहमत
जी भाई चेस तो हमने करना था। देखिए हमारा वर्ल्ड कप से लेना देना नहीं है, हम 2 जगह मैच खेलते हैं। हमारा मैच सिर्फ पाकिस्तान से, हम कप जीत गए, हमने बाकी मैच हारना है। हमने पहले अपने टीम को बोला था कि हमारा फोकस 22 तारीख को होना चाहिए, ये मैच हमें जीतना चाहिए। अगर ये मैच हम हार जाते, हमारे पास प्लान बी भी जाए। प्लान बी फिर हमारा स्टेडियम के बाहर होता है, वो सबको पता है। तो इंशाल्लाह मैं मुबारक हो, तो इंशाल्लाह प्लान ए हमारा कामयाब हो गया, प्लान बी कुछ करना ही नहीं पड़ा। तो थैंक यू सो मच।
स्टेडियम के बाहर होता
दुश्मन की तरफ से भी मुबारक हो, ये दुश्मनों को आग लगती है।
पता नहीं प्लान बी
प्लान बी क्या है? लास्ट टाइम जब ये लोग खेले थे ना दुबई में, अफगानियों ने पाकिस्तानियों को पेल दिया था, मारना शुरू कर दिया। इतना कुत्ते के जैसे मारा था इन्होंने उसको। हमको प्लेन भी तो
प्लान बी भी है हमारे पास। ओह शिट।
ओ यार क्या मस्त लोग होते हैं यार हमारे, सच्ची हमारे लोगों से अच्छा कोई नहीं होता। बस नहीं के मार।
रहमत जरा बताना।
ओह मैन,
ये कौन सा शो है? ये इंडिया का शो है ये जो देखा हमने? अच्छा
इंडिया
पाकिस्तानी
वर्सेस
शो
साउथ
है।
अफ्रीका। इंडिया
अच्छा इंडिया साउथ अफ्रीका भी आ गया अब, शाबाश।
हाँ, प्रीव्यू क्या है?
अरे हमारा बॉलिंग बैटिंग सबकी धज्जियां उड़ा दे रोहित की टीम ने। मैं बात करता हूँ रोहित से, घबराइए नहीं। हाँ मुझे बुलाया क्या आपने? आप क्या हो गया? रोहित क्या कर रहे हो? किसी भी हरी जर्सी वाले को देख के पाकिस्तान समझ के पेल देते हो।
हमने इनके विराट की सेंचुरी भी लगवाई, इन्होंने हमारे नहीं बनने दिए। 100 लगवा दिए हमारे लॉ।
लगवा दिए इनके लॉ। बात करो शम्मी, सिराज, बुमराह, जड्डू से क्या कर रहे हैं? अरे हम क्या लगाएंगे? इनके तो प्लेयर का नाम ही डिकॉक है, और मेरे को नहीं मालूम था मार्करम का क्रियाक्रम इतनी जल्दी हो जाएगा। क्यों किया ऐसे? अरे वो कोहली का बर्थडे, तो अपने का विनिंग केक काटेंगे। अरे तो उसका केक काटने के चक्कर में सबका काट रहे हो तुम। कभी किसी की बीवी आ रही है, गर्लफ्रेंड के वजह से रन बन रहे हैं, इनका काट दिया आज। वादा करो अगली बार सेमीफाइनल फाइनल में इनके 300 बनने दोगे।
अरे हम इनको 2 टप्पे वाली बॉल फेंकेंगे।
विराट से बॉलिंग कराऊंगा, बहुत ज्यादा हो रहा है जा। अच्छा ठीक है, ये अगर बुमराह और शामी का हैमस्ट्रिंग खिंच जाता तो हट साले। अगली बार हल्का हाथ रखेंगे। गांधी जी का अपमान अफ्रीका में भूले नहीं हैं हम। अरे उसके लिए मैं माफी मांगता हूँ, और वर्ल्ड कप के लिए मैं माफी मांगता हूँ। टीम इंडिया के फैन हो।
आरजे लक्की
मस्त
अगेन,
आदमी
क्या
है
बात है यार,
आरजे लक्की, मस्त आदमी
क्या
है ये।
बात है, मस्त है
एक
ये आरजे लक्की के और भेजा करो यार, बढ़िया बनाता है।
ये मस्त आदमी है ये। अच्छा ये क्या है अभी?
गांधी जी का अपमान हम
मोदी
भूले
जी इज
नहीं
माय
अभी तक।
मोदी जी इज माय फेवरेट सिंगर, व्हाट द
अरे
फक?
ये क्या है? हु इज योर फेवरेट सिंगर?
सोनू निगम, शान, अरिजीत सिंह,
सोनू निगम, अमिताभ बच्चन,
मोदी जी।
फेवरेट सिंगर
सोनू निगम,
दोबारा
अरिजीत सिंह,
सोनू निगम, अमिताभ बच्चन,
मोदी जी।
हो रहा है।
अच्छा अभिजीत ने क्या भेजा था अभी?
These are my favorite ones यार, ये
आह,
we have to bank
आह,
these are great।
ओके।
नॉटी
अभिजीत,
हो रहा है
ये अभिजीत ने भेजा है अभी। ये क्या
मोदी
है?
जी से सिर्फ पंजाबी गाने गवाते हैं ये लोग। मोदी जी
प्लेयर्स हु
ओनली सिंग्स
फॉट थ्रू
पंजाबी रैप।
पेन। ये अच्छा है,
नहीं
players
लौड़े।
who नहीं लौड़े फॉर देयर कंट्री। ये अच्छा है।
अच्छा ये क्रिकेट मीम शेयर कर रहा है आजकल।
वाह वाह
क्या
अभिजीत, ये
बात
अच्छा
है,
था।
बताइए
तुम
बताइए।
लोग समझते नहीं हो यार मेरी कितनी एक्सपर्टीज है क्रिकेट में।
I know, इसीलिए तो I mean honestly how many people in the world know what LBW stands for? It's fair.
Fuck, seriously.
Yeah. I think it's only like 1%, 2% of the people that know what LBW is.
Oh man.
What's the Duckworth-Lewis method?
That's the method of calculating of rainfalls. Who
हैं?
wins?
क्या?
It's to calculate who wins when
हाँ,
somebody doesn't complete their innings because of rain, shane, etc. etc.
रेन शेन, वाह क्या बात है,
No,
लगता
no.
है राघव ने
वाह,
पढ़ाया है इसको अच्छे से बहुत।
हाँ राघव इसको अच्छा से सिखा रहा
It could be that मुन्ना भाई वाली situation that there is an earphone over here and that person is listening in the back. हाँ, and ये बोल रहा है डकवर्थ लुईस बताना जरा।
कुछ नहीं है।
वो
देख
आजकल
मैं
आता है ना
बहुत
ट्रांसपेरेंट वायर्स ऐसे पीछे कान
यार
के
मैं
पीछे।
I am out of you guys league, okay? Like that's why I don't want to give you into complex. I start my own cricket commentary channel ना।
You
ये
should.
कुशल और
I think
कपाड़िया
you
का
should.
जो ये हो जाता है ना एकदम भोंडी हो जाएगा। हाँ।
हाँ, you should. I think you should 100% start a new commentary channel, and I will watch it and I will ask people to subscribe to it. If you create it, we'll make sure to get it to at least 50K, 100K.
हाँ बिल्कुल।
But then
और
you have to
मैं-
promise to put out regular content on it.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But see the
You need to
problem
put
is
out
I'll
at least a
destroy the
weekly
market.
video on it, huh?
Yeah, I'll destroy the market. You see, so I
Yes.
just want लोगों के पेट पे भूख को पेट पे आग नहीं जलानी चाहिए।
पेट पे आग नहीं जलानी।
वेरी गुड, चल क्वेश्चंस देखो।
हाँ हाँ, so guys if you have any questions जरा भेज दो हम लोगों को।
Question.
We'll take a look at it right now. अभी क्या है? Is there a
Abhijit, stomach
questions?
upset after eating ham ass. चूतियों. No. Pakistan team hotel reports stolen tea bags and broken TV after NZ match. Please get AM on cricket podcast. He's been watching a lot of cricket. Yes, I told
Yes,
you.
please do. मैं तो he should create his own channel is what I'm saying.
Gas for goose. Hiran for what? Bath.
क्या?
शाम
कहाँ से पढ़ रही?
क्वेश्चंस पढ़।
मैं
शाम
पढ़ रहा
क्वेश्चंस
हूँ
पढ़।
क्वेश्चन। ये क्या हो गया इनको?
Feminist for
He says,
Hamas.
this is Barney. Barney says, Kushal, in Bihar, is the government giving Muslim reservation too? You said if government will give them reservation, you'll do a strike in your race podcast? Race podcast.
ओ भाई ये लोग क्या पागल के जैसे एक ही बात करते रहते हैं, कोर्ट्स रिजेक्ट कर देती है, ये सब चीजें इनको समझ में नहीं आता क्या? जो भी स्टेट इसको पास करती है वो कोर्ट्स उसको रिजेक्ट कर देती हैं।
Yeah.
Kushal, have you hacked AIM's Twitter account? No. I could tell my commentary is way better than his. And Abhay Agarwal asks, working 70 hours a week, what's your view on that statement?
What else? Kya hai? Where's the
It's very
question?
important. Quality is a product of labor. Okay. The better incentivized and motivated your labor, the better the quality product that comes out. 70-hour work weeks are meant for coolies, mandatory ones. You know, there is no work restriction on me, but when I'm really enjoying my work, I work for 80, 90 hours because I just enjoy being it. You incentivize people to work that way. You don't insist that it becomes a minimum standard. That is a sweatshop. And everybody got very upset for me saying that about Narayana Murthy. But what is Infosys if not a cyber coolie operation? All they do is basic level programming. They've got nothing unique to offer anybody. बस यही होता है. So it is a sign of where we are in the IT world, which is we never produce the high end product or anything. Low end entry level. We are the BPO of the this thing world. Your predictions for Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh election.
Ye kahan se de- Where is he looking at this? Where
All
is
this
all this?
starts
Looking at the
Let
start
me at
of
least
the-
put it on this. Let me at least put it on the screen so the audience can see it. Hold on. Idhar se lete hain. Let's start from here.
Start with Spike Cowboy.
Yeah, Mongo
This
Bongo
is
is
why I
saying,
don't
what do
let
you?
him read messages.
Yeah, what do you think of Rupi Kaur rejecting White House Diwali invitation? She believes that the US support for Israel is opposite the spirit of Diwali. Yes, Rupi Kaur is the person that knows about the spirit of Diwali. ठीक है?
Oh, I
Rupi
thought
Kaur has
Rupi
more
Kaur
love
was
for India.
celebrating
Rupi
Bandi
Kaur
Chhod
has more love
Divas.
for Indians. Rupi Kaur
अगर
has more love for the
दिवाली
culture of India.
अगर दिवाली को बॉम्ब नहीं फाड़ोगे तो कब फाड़ोगे बॉम्ब?
Huh. Yeah.
So Israel is celebrating Mahadiwali for us.
Yeah, and I just don't think that Rupi Kaur is a great judge of what the fuck the spirit of
नहीं
Diwali is.
नहीं
ठीक
और
है?
Rupi Kaur is such a traitor to the Khalistani cause because Khalistanis don't celebrate Diwali. They celebrate
हाँ,
Bandi Chhod
exactly.
Divas.
ये इसको तो SGP से कहीं blasphemy ना बोल दे. Kushal, what do you think of the BJP's chances in Madhya Pradesh?
Slight chance.
Slight?
Hmm.
अच्छा.
Depends. वोटिंग परसेंटेज के ऊपर अभी टिकट डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन तो जो होनी थी हो गई. देखते हैं अभी वोटिंग परसेंटेज क्या होती है.
It is going to be a Congress landslide bench.
Landslide?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
No.
And look, Spiky Cowboy has also asked your predictions for Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh, Congress will win narrowly. Rajasthan will BJP आ जाएगा यार. Not by a
BJP
very
will
big
win
margin.
Rajasthan.
What do you think if Modi wins the third term? Would he be more strong in economics and less on society? What about UCC, temple freedom, economic reforms? I don't think anything less
सब
will
third
happen
term में आएगा.
societally. Huh?
सब कुछ third term में आएगा तो देख. You go by his results in Gujarat. See, the first term saw literally no reforms. Second term saw some bold reforms. Third term was galloping reforms. So if you go by his history, so first term में इधर क्या हुआ? They tried everything in the first few weeks and then that सूट बूट की सरकार completely stopped. Then they realized that, you know, in the second election after 2019, they realized, bhai, we are back. We've got the mandate. It isn't a black swan event. So they did Jammu Kashmir, bankruptcy law, everything they did. Fantastic stuff. The third term में देखो और भी बेहतर होने वाला है.
Working 70 hours a week, your views on the statement. I think Narayan Murthy
Why are
said
you
that,
going
right?
backwards, man?
I'm just taking the questions that we've missed first, and then we'll go down. So what do you make of this statement? That people should
I
be
have
working
not
70 hours a
honestly I
week?
have not seen the
अभी तो
interviews. So
बोला
I don't have
नारायण
any
मूर्ति
comment.
ने क्या बोला?
What did he say?
अबे अभी तो बोला डिस्कस किया ना. It's a
अरे
sweatshop.
शाम तो कुत्ते
अच्छा, you
सुनता नहीं.
did.
क्या बोला आगे
अरे
बढ़.
he was just reading random questions. I have no idea what questions he read. So let me go back
आगे
down
बढ़ जा.
again.
आगे बढ़.
Come to 836 and below. Sandeep Patil and below. I've covered all the
अच्छा,
questions
Sandeep
before.
Patil and below. Wow.
836 PM.
Sandeep Patil and below. Why did the Hindu Mahasabha oppose the Quit India movement?
अरे
What's your
पहले
view
संदीप
on?
पाटिल का तो पूछ ले.
Acha, I thought you said Sandeep Patil and below.
And below.
Oh, and below. This is a comment. This is not a question. There's no
Yeah,
question.
no
It's
comments
just
are not
comments.
taken. Questions are taken. आगे बढ़.
Why did the Hindu Mahasabha oppose the Quit India movement? What's your take on Shyama Prasad Mukherjee and Savarkar's stand on that issue? Were they anti-national? I think if to read more, were you going to say something, Abhijit?
तू बोल फिर मैं बोल.
So I think there's a good bit of information provided this in what's his name? Yeah, jo uski kitab hai. What's the author's name? I'm completely blanking. Vikram Sampath. So if you read Vikram Sampath's book on it, it gives a lot of context to this decision as well, because Savarkar truly believed that the Hindus need to get militarized. And he believed the Hindus will get militarized by joining the British Army. That's the best way and the easiest way for the Hindus to get militarized, because he was afraid that if the British leave, all these Muslim League leaders and some big Muslim leaders were even exhorting Afghanistan to come and invade India and turn India into an Islamic state. And so Savarkar believed that if that does happen, which was looking likely because a lot of Muslim leaders were asking for it, if that does happen, then Hindus are sitting ducks. They don't know how to use weapons. They don't know how to fight. So they said the first order of business for the Hindu society is to get highly militarized, get weapons training in case that does happen. And he thought the best way to do it is by joining the British Army, who have weapons to provide.
And just for
also the fact
context,
that the British would be much more better disposed towards you, and the transfer of power will be much easier.
Yeah.
Remember, the myth that the Congress negotiated the transfer of power is absolute bloody bullshit. In the crucial periods when autonomy and the transfer of power were being negotiated, which is from 1919 to 1934 or 36, the Congress was boycotting elections. It was two other parties, the Swaraj Party and the Nationalist Party, that did 90% of the negotiations already. You will never read about them in your textbook. Why? Because the Congress doesn't want you to know who won those elections, and Congress did not win elections for almost 15, 16 years in between because they were boycotting. The roundtable conference, because our man Gandhi wanted a foreign trip. Mummy, mere ko foreign jana hai. Kind of thing. He went and mucked up. There was no constitutional depth. He just went there for the sake of grandstanding and giving speeches. The actual team of lawyers that India wanted to send were never sent to that conference, which is why negotiations didn't take place and we didn't get more autonomy. By a country that was willing to give Ireland autonomy right next door, why isn't it willing to give India autonomy at that time? They were. You didn't want it. Gandhi actually went and screwed up that entire thing. Okay? So all of them knew that Quit India movement will vitiate. It will cost lives. You don't get into an adversarial relationship when you are vying for power with somebody else. And they knew the Muslim League will take full advantage of this.
Yeah.
Okay. You could have avoided a lot of shit had that Quit India movement not started off.
Mrityunjay is asking global left blindly.
One more point
Go ahead.
you have to
Sorry,
add in
Kushal.
this is that you have to keep in mind the British recruitment policy of martial races and that stupid idea that the British had come up with. Secondly, just look at the percentage of Muslims in the British Indian Army at that time or in the police forces in general. So Savarkar had looked at all these things and he had realized that if we don't have Hindus in the army and we don't have a bunch of Hindus who are trained to fight, we are fucked as a community. Yeah. So that is one of the reasons.
Yeah. Isn't it funny that whole martial races thing still sticks around? It is kind of funny that people actually believe that. People should learn, from the way Israelis have smacked the Arabs around in like multiple wars over the last decade, that this whole martial race theory is complete gobbledygook.
Yeah.
Mrityunjay is asking, global left blindly abetting Hamas has shocked liberals, leftist Jews. We've been saying this for years, but they've called us Hindutvaadis and took Rana Ayub's articles on India at her word. Will this change in the future? Question for AIM.
No, when this finishes, they'll go back. Who was celebrating Rana Ayub and co? It was all the liberal East Coast Jews and the West Coast Jews.
Yeah.
New York Times, it's run by the Sulzberger family, who were quite happy to have their own people. They subdued news of the Holocaust. They don't just do this to us. They do this even to their own people.
Yeah.
Okay, so kuch nahi badlega. After this, they'll go back to where they are.
Let's see. What other questions?
Next, Pankaj.
Question lena, comment nahi.
Comment nahi. Thoughts on Pannu uncle's air in...
Questions, Baba. Sometimes questions are also framed as comments. Na padha to kya karo? Can you please talk about the Delhi pollution?
Hai pollution.
Well, there's nothing you can do about it because
Oh,
AAP
nothing.
is in power in Punjab. 90% of the burning is happening in Punjab. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
I've tweeted
Nothing.
out the maps. Go look at it. It's the satellite maps.
Yeah.
Turned into black and white just and highlighted the burning with red. I've shown the GIF also.
Hmm.
Etc. etc. Haryana isn't even 10% of what is happening in this thing. It's 1/13th. 1/13th, 440 fires, 5,600 fires in Punjab
Wow.
versus 440 odd in Haryana.
Right.
Ab kya hoga? No idea.
Thoughts on Pannu's Air India threat?
Stop giving him air.
Hmm.
Stop talking about him. He's irrelevant. Stick to that
But
idea.
isn't that an actual threat? Doesn't that constitute like an actual threat that police
Well,
action should be taken on?
On whom? But how
On
can
Pannu?
India take action in
No,
America?
not India.
Canada
The
does.
government of Canada.
Should. पर वो तो कुछ
But
नहीं
he
Isn't
करेगी.
lives
that
in
an
New York.
actual
He doesn't live in Canada. He lives in New York.
Acha, but even then, that violates the Brandenburg ka jo tha na, to even violates free speech in America. It should.
It does.
He has
It does. It violates the Brandenburg Principle. Yes, it does.
yeah.
they're
So, but
doing
then
cities for
why is America not arresting him?
And not just that, our idiots at the MEA have decided to start giving visas again.
Shabash. बहुत
लड़ों
अच्छे.
की कोई कमी नहीं है, हाँ?
Sid Dave is asking how to beat the Islamist Khalistani alliance. They support each other's alliance. Hindu-Jewish alliance होना चाहिए West में with right-wing Christians. अब यार मुश्किल
ठीक है,
है.
कर दो.
It's not as it's easier said than done.
It has to be threaded very carefully.
Hmm.
Okay. So, for example, are you willing to whitewash Britain's crimes? I am, but most Indians are not. They keep falling into this trap. You have to throw certain things at them saying, Britain was generally good for us. See, as a Bengali, I can genuinely say that. Because in Bengal, we viewed Britain as liberators.
Hmm.
Because people
From
don't realize what
Sirajuddaula.
it meant for us.
Hmm.
Okay. In Tamil Nadu, it was a bit different. Had it been the Madurai Sultanate, which is a particularly nasty sultanate, maybe we would have viewed the British as liberators. But we never viewed them as occupiers either. There was no freedom movement happening in the south. You know that.
Hmm.
Tamil Nadu, you'll find the least number of freedom fighters come from Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra. They all come from the north. Because for us, our rulers were so rotten that it was generally, the British were a huge improvement over what we had before.
Hmm. Another question is, I think this is a little more relevant for Kushal. What did you think of the Fury and Ngannou fight? Fury ki to bezti ho gayi. Ho hi gayi. Ho hi gayi. I think he should have lost. I think
Yeah,
Ngannou won that fight.
Fury did not take Ngannou seriously, to be very
Yeah,
honest.
I think he didn't take Ngannou seriously. I think he should have lost. And I think no matter what happened, if the fight went to decision, they would have given the win to Fury, because if Fury loses to Ngannou, then the entire sport of boxing looks like a joke. And even right now, the entire sport of boxing looks like a joke because of the wrong decision. But there's no way that unless Ngannou knocked him out, that Ngannou would have won that fight. There's no way they would have given it to Ngannou, because it's a huge bloody nose to boxing. And Chael Sonnen made a great video calling boxing is a joke or something like that. It was a great video. I recommend it. Go to Chael Sonnen's channel and watch that video. It's a fantastic video. What else? Should India have a reservation for the LGBTQ community like we may have for women? I would like to see Muslim majority district be reserved for LGBTQ candidate.
I think we should. I think on a serious note, I think the people who actually need reservations here, and they're the people who really need reservations, are the trans community. They really suffer a lot. I don't think people realize the kind of trauma those people go through. So for LGB, no fucking chance in hell. Over my fucking dead body. For trans people, absolutely.
Is Pratyaksh Praman enough to form a worldview?
तो अभिजीत के लिए क्वेश्चन नहीं है, मेरे लिए क्वेश्चन। साइड कर दो अभिजीत। इस प्रत्यक्ष प्रमाण इनफ टू फॉर्म अ वर्ल्ड व्यू? नो, क्वालिफाइड इन्फरेंस हमेशा अलाउड होती है, इवन चार्वक में।
This might be
just
for Abhijit.
literally by so anyways,
Is Albania versus Serbia the next war?
मतलब क्या भैंजोद क्या टिंडे के जैसे वॉर बांट रहे हैं क्या हम लोग इधर? भोसड़ी आदमी आके लड़ाई करता रहेगा।
Banda, he has a board on the wall with
बैठा
all
हुआ
the
है उसने
countries,
बोर्ड
and he's like,
लगाया, चलो, ये लड़ाई करा दो।
Albania, Serbia, Greece, Turkey. Yeah. Why do you want to see more wars, man?
अरे भैंचोद
बस करो।
पता नहीं ट्विटर पे लोग बैठे बैठे इनको झगड़े ही देख रहे होते हैं और कुछ करना नहीं होता। लड़ो, जी भर कर लड़ो।
Let's take a couple more. This is from Jitendra Salgaonkar. He's asking, what will happen in Gaza now? How long do you think the war will go on, and will that war affect the rest of the world?
Look, nothing's going to happen soon. This is going to take a year, maybe longer than a year. Okay. The difference this time is that it's almost a 5:1 ratio of people is to troops, which is an unprecedented ratio of troops. Normally, troop to people ratio is like 1 to 1,000, 1 to 600, 700. This is a 1 to 5 ratio. Israel probably can pull things off faster, but I don't think so. Let's see. We still have no clarity because there's a complete information blackout happening out there. And we can't see tunnels from satellites because tunnels are hidden underneath buildings. We can see buildings, but we have no idea there's tunnels out there. Okay. We maybe had we been following it for a long time, looking at traffic and things, we could have said, but we haven't been doing that. And what's been happening also is the war ke time, you will actually see less use of those tunnels to avoid them from coming on the radar. So there's nothing much we can say, but it's easily going to take a year, boss. Come se come.
Wow. Where do you see the Canadian economy going with regards to immigration?
As in, ये question ही incomplete है.
I think they're asking कि जितनी immigration हो रही है, will that affect the Canadian economy in any way?
I mean, depends on what kind of immigration happens and how do you organize it. ये लोग ने basically किया था कि बहुत सारे student visa दे दिए, इसके लिए एक certain area में उनके real estate prices थोड़े rise हो गए, मगर वो कोई इतना बड़ा issue नहीं है अगर overall recession नहीं होती थी. और कनाडा की इकोनॉमी 70% इकोनॉमी इज लेवरेज्ड ऑन अमेरिका, सो कनाडा की इशू ये नहीं होती है कि उसका क्या हाल है, उनका इशू होता है कि अमेरिका का क्या हाल है. एवरीथिंग इन कनाडा इज इंटर रिलेटेड टू अमेरिका. अगर अमेरिका ठीक चल रहा है तो कनाडा ठीक चल रहा है.
Let's take this last question from Pradeep Shori. What type of Fair and Lovely cream can be used to hide redness, as Abhijit Iyer Mitra is hiding his angry facial tone when choosing comments to read? Which one do you recommend, Abhijit? So that one? So see if you can find that one in a shop nearby you.
Yes.
And if you can't, then just DM or ask Abhijit on Twitter where to find that particular cream, and maybe he can guide you. All right, guys. Thanks very much again for joining us. Thanks for giving us your questions. Thanks for joining me in this echoey, not soundproof studio. Hopefully, we'll get it soundproof soon enough. But thanks to you guys for joining me also. And please look forward to lots more cricket commentary from Abhijit on Twitter. And I'm assuming that he's going to be running a YouTube channel soon on cricket commentary also. Yes, Hannah? Yes. So cricket commentary channel will also open. Baki, we'll see you next time. Tab tak ke liye, tata bye bye. See you next time. Dhyan rakho.